We have a long story in today's gospel about the martyrdom of John the Baptist. And yet, if you read carefully, you will notice right at the introduction that it is not really about John. It is rather about Jesus. Mark begins it by saying that Jesus' fame had become widespread and had caught the attention of Herod Antipas, the governor of Galilee. And what immediately comes to his mind? John the Baptist. He thinks the prophet whom he had eliminated, he had him beheaded, that the prophet had come back to life. In short, he is being tortured by his guilty conscience. He thinks he is seeing the ghost of his victim. You know, I wonder how Herod eventually died. He must have lost his mind. Today we celebrate the memorial of Saint Agatha, one of the Christian martyrs of the early 3rd century. Somebody once asked me, how many martyrs do you have in the Catholic Christian tradition? It's like being asked, how many islands are there in the Philippines? And being tempted to answer, as Charlene Gonzalez once did in the 1994 Miss Universe pageant's Q&A part, low tide or high tide? I assure you, we have lots of them. Korea alone has hundreds of martyrs canonized from among 8,000 to 10,000 yet uncanonized martyrs. Why do we venerate saints and martyrs if they are just human beings like you and me? My simple answer is, it is not them we venerate. It is rather the Christ whom we have so luminously, or whom they have so luminously reflected in their heroic lives. Our first reading from Hebrews chapter 13 says, Christ is the same, yesterday, today, and forever. Meaning, Christ for us is not just a memory of the past. He is not just a historical figure who lived 2,000 years ago. He is as alive now as he has been in the past 2,000 years in his disciples and friends who stubbornly follow his way of life. A way of life. That is what Christianity is. It is not meant to be reduced to a religion or to a set of doctrines. It is a way of life that keeps the dangerous memory of Jesus Christ alive. I also find it unfortunate that people have practically equated martyrdom with an almost suicidal obsession with dying for one's faith. And there were indeed some episodes in church history when Christians became too eager to die for their faith until some bishops admonished them not to overdo it. The Greek term for martyrdom, marturia, is not about dying or about shedding one's blood. It is rather about living the faith in all its radicality. It is about a life of witnessing to Jesus, witnessing to his way of life. It is about loving each other as Christ has loved us. The writer of the letter to the Hebrews says, it means being welcoming to strangers, being mindful of prisoners, being compassionate to the ill-treated and oppressed, and being faithful in marriage. I like that, you know. Faithfulness in marriage is also martyrdom. He says it is also about being free from the love of money, free from avarice, and being content with what we have. It is about being fearless because you know that the Lord is your helper. This is what I mean when I keep saying to you, we are called not just to be Christians, but to be Christ. To speak in such a way that it is Christ who is heard. To live in such a way that Christ's presence, Christ's healing touch, His liberating touch, His mercy, His compassion, His very person is taking flesh, becoming incarnate all over again. Please, do not allow Christ to be reduced to an idea or to a memory of the past. Let Jesus Christ live on the way John the Baptist lived on in Jesus. Remember, Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever.